91.5 WBIM presents Bridgewater's Saturday Night Soundtrack with Rob Hicks. Whoever you're with, wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, don't stop. Just turn us up. Coming to you live from the Adrian Rondelou Campus Center. We are your destination for commercial-free classic rock to power your nights. Bruce Springsteen, Tom Petty, Pearl Jam, Eric Clapton, AC/DC, Zeppelin, Foo Fighters, Aerosmith, The Clash, Nirvana, Guns N' Roses, Rolling Stones, Soundgarden, Van Halen, and hundreds more. 5 decades, thousands of songs, and one show to rule them all.
All kinds of cool bands.
You guys rock. We are all request at 508-531-1303.
I can hear what I want when I want.
Every song just rocks.
So go get some food in the bank and prepare to make your Saturday night soundtrack with Rob Hicks begins now on Bridgewater's Own 91.5 WBIM.
It's 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack is underway, so welcome to it. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer.
Hello.
Are you going to sound like a Peanuts adult the whole night?
You know that came out yesterday?
Yes, it did.
I do know it came out, yeah.
I'm a big Peanuts fan. I like the, Charlie Brown and the whole business.
Me too.
And I was like, I want to go see that damn movie. So then I thought, it would be a little weird if I just went up to the ticket window and, can I have one for the Peanuts, please? The 7 o'clock show. Do you have any kids with you? No. It's just me and my childhood.
Moi.
What's that joke you always like to tell about the guy sitting at the park watching all the kids?
Yeah.
Which one's yours? None yet.
Yeah, it's true.
Yep, so we're creepy old men, and we're going to be with you for the next 6 hours.
Yeah.
So, hello.
Watching out the windows with our binoculars looking at your yoga shorts.
Although, you know what? Last week was a disappointment to me.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
It was underwhelming. There was not
Very
a lot
underwhelming.
There was not a lot of presence on campus.
Nope.
There was not
At night afterwards, sure, yeah. But not enough because the lights weren't on. And
not a lot of presence running around here. Although I am interested to find out what's going to be going on down the hall.
I don't know, but this.
It looks like we're back to the last campus again.
Yeah, so we got a. So apparently, it looks like there's going to be one of those metal detector dances, as I like to call them, which I hope is not. It's what Mikey D calls it. I hope it's not actually called a metal detector dance because
The metal detector dance.
I feel like seeing that on a flyer is not very enticing.
I'd go to that all day.
There's a rhythmic ceremonial ritual coming up. Of course, the metal detector dance. They're supposed to go to this. I don't see
I
it.
gotta go to that to save my family
Exactly.
from disappearing.
I don't see that being inviting. You like that?
I liked your reference.
All day long. I'm in a Back to the Future frame of mind, at least for the next month.
Why? What happened?
Well, because I
don't care. Moving on.
Trilogy
He's
came
still
out.
Oh, I
moving
still
on.
gotta send you
Went
that
to go see
video.
it. What video? Why are you yelling?
I don't know.
Why does he ever yell?
You have a microphone in front of you, and I have headphones on. The whole thing works.
I now have 2. Now you can hear me in surround sound.
Please put. It doesn't work that way. Number 1. Number 2. Please put that back.
It's just my
What
microphone.
video? I don't understand what you.
Oh, I'll show you to you during the break because
Okay.
it is hilarious.
All right.
Yeah, hilarious.
There he is.
Hilarious.
508-531-1303. We're doing Classic Rock until 11 o'clock, so you can call us up, give us requests. You can like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack. You can follow us on Twitter, at SN
Or you can just
Soundtrack.
follow me in general.
And you can look us up on YouTube. Just search for Saturday Night Soundtrack, filter for channels. We're going to come right up. Almost all of our shows from 2015 are up there. The show from last week is not up there because, well, this week was absolutely awful as far as the job that I actually get paid to do.
I was trying to find it the other day. I was wondering why.
Yeah, no. I was just extremely busy.
I wanted to hear my singing.
It's actually that. You notice how I'm just ignoring everything he says? It's this close. Nobody can see what I'm doing with my fingers. It's this close to being uploaded. I actually was going to upload it this afternoon. It's all cut up. It's all saved on my computer. It takes a good half hour probably to upload to YouTube with all the processing and everything. And by the time it finished saving to my computer, it was 3:40 today. And I was like, nah. Not being late for the show to upload last week's show. That seems counterintuitive.
Yes, I agree.
So
that's why you should bring your laptop and do it now.
I can't do it because I don't have access to the internet here.
Why? I do.
I don't.
I do. The two of you
Actually,
suck.
I do now. I'm on Bridgewater's.
Yeah.
You
What the hell?
you told me a couple of weeks ago, actually, that it's better now that you're actually able to get on the Wi-Fi, because it used to be the Wi-Fi up here to get onto it was just a challenge and a half that I didn't feel like going through.
Oh, man, I got on that.
And
Oh,
here we
yeah.
go.
I got on that like a back alley. It's the back alley. Oh, my God. Well, I mean, you're not going to do it in the front alley because then,
Well, of course.
Main Street's like, whoa, hang on a second.
Down on Main Street. Whoa! What's
Whoa!
happening? We're not going to sing all night.
Look
Trust
at that
us.
thing flipping around.
Hey, you want to hear some music?
Yes, please.
All right, let's do it. First classic rock block of the evening. Give us a call, 508-531-1303. You listen to SNS on BIM.
Call in your classic rock request now at 508-531-1303. If you don't, Rob Hicks will play a half an hour of Bruce Hornsby.
That's just the way it is.
This is your chance to save the town of Bridgewater. 91.5 WBIM.
It's a Jay Giles Band, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS radio show, that one going out to Doug in Brockton, who's listening to us. And he picked up on the fact that we had played Nighttime just before that by Jay Giles Band off the same album, Love Stinks. He said, why don't you make it a twofer? I said, my pleasure. Steve Miller Band, Def Leppard before that in the block, Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer.
You are good.
That.
I said that to you after you told me what was going on. You know what I mean?
I'm going
Sir.
to punch you in the larynx.
Well, you know what? Let's put this into perspective, and let's let the folks at home know a little bit about the trials and tribulations that I go through here, trying to run the best program at WBIM. So we get a request in. I can see what you're doing. I'm ignoring it. We get
16 seconds.
Yeah, we
and
get
it's
it. We get
on
a
the radio.
We get a request in. First of all, yes, the turnaround time is exceptional. 90. I'd say
Stunning.
it was 90 seconds that he called in, made the request. We turned around, got it on the radio. The important thing to remember about that is, in the midst of it, while I thank Jared for taking the phone call, he then stands,
You're welcome.
He then stands there while I'm trying to set up the next song on the fly, going, "Hey, you got 5 minutes? I want to show you a video." And I say, "No, I don't have 5 minutes. Please show me the video later." He continues to stand right behind me, playing the friggin' video. Sir, I'm trying to run a program here.
That's Jared for you.
This show runs smoothly by
does.
no accident. You know what I mean? There's a certain amount of effort that goes into it.
Yeah, by a little bit, because we're so damn good.
Oh, the distracting forces are unbelievable. If you want to hear your song, and I can't guarantee that it'll happen within 2 minutes like that last one just did, but it might. So give us a call, 508-531-1303.
If you're a girl in yoga pants, we'll put it on.
Oh, we'll put anything on.
You know what'll happen is it'll be easier for people to call if you don't interrupt me when I'm giving the number. Jesus, what is wrong with you tonight? You're at 120%. My God. 508-531-1303 is a number you can call.
You know what I noticed when you do that? The sound drops a little bit when you do that.
I'm sure it does.
My wallet is thick.
Classic Rock until 11 o'clock, and I was counting earlier, trying to figure out how many shows we may have left in this semester. I think we probably got about 4. 4 after today, in other words.
I declined that.
What do you mean you declined that?
I declined that offer.
I don't even know what that means.
That means that we're just gonna be on as often as we can. Like, let's see them try to stop us.
I mean, we can't just hijack people and
sure we can.
duct tape them over, and actually, you
Yeah.
know what?
Yeah,
We've
of course
actually
you can.
Have you seen that
There's-
movie Airheads?
And there's
I think
three,
so.
There's 3 of us.
There's
Chances
3 of
are
us.
anybody who comes in may only
one of
be
us.
1 or 2 of them at the most.
One of us is English.
Yeah, exactly.
So
We're probably
they're like, whoa, wait
We
a
already
second.
took over this country once. We can do it again.
we are patriots and loyalists on this
Yes.
royalists on this program,
Yep.
and
We will.
we're gonna get it done.
Yeah, we're gonna play. Don't worry.
You know what I mean?
We're not gonna go anywhere. We're gonna be on this station until I don't know, something happens.
And Jared
Yes.
has just jinxed the hell out of us.
Yes, he has.
You can like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack, and you can follow us
You
on
already
Twitter
said
at
that.
SN Soundtrack. And
Don't
you can
forget
also,
our live journal.
Yep, and is no live journal. You can also follow us on YouTube. All you have to do is search for Saturday Night Soundtrack, filter for channels, and we'll come right up. How do you not have anything to say when I finish finally getting a thought out?
It's called timing, sir.
No, it's called poor timing is what it's called.
It's called comedic timing. And I have oodles of it.
When's your next lodge night?
No,
please,
man,
please
I'm
say
gonna-
next week.
Never.
Oh, God.
Is the one in the next 3 or 4 weeks?
Yeah, in a couple weeks.
There is? Okay.
Well, I'm actually wondering if, because one of the shows that we're not going to be on is whatever the last Saturday in November is, because that'd be the Saturday of the Thanksgiving weekend. Place is closed down at that point. So if you get a lodge night that weekend, then we'll never be without Jared. There's a scary thought to take into your slumbers.
What are we talking about?
I may or not make it on the 21st.
What?
It's my wife's birthday on the 22nd.
No,
Bring her
yes.
in.
I
what I
tried
mean?
that.
Well,
Didn't
yeah,
work.
I won't be here on the 21st either, so.
What?
Yeah.
Is that the lodge?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm probably potentially going to be here by myself
Yeah.
on the 21st.
All by myself.
It might be blissful, not without you,
No, I know.
Mr. Rimmer.
I never
there's
wanna be
There's a push.
all by
Oh, and
myself.
radios tuned off everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah, we just lost half the audience.
Yeah.
I'm actually
Who's that guy singing off key?
somewhat surprised that we haven't seen
keychain.
we haven't seen Mikey D yet tonight.
I know.
Thank God.
Does he have to get ready for this thing down the hallway?
Probably.
I think he got stuck in the elevator.
Are we going to get...
Oh, can we tell this? Actually, yeah, let's tell the story.
Let's tell the story.
Yeah, that was a
So,
great one.
Once upon a time.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you, Jared.
we're leaving the we're leaving the program. We're leaving the station last week, and Jared, who's all hot and bothered to start using
Yeah,
the.
because we had to climb 2 sets of stairs.
Yeah, we have to
get
climb
here.
2 steps of stairs. The hallway is moderately warm. So
Well,
Jared's
screw that. The other day, that time it was super warm,
so
and I thought
Jared's all excited about the fact that there's an elevator on the premises.
And he found it.
I saw
He
it.
found it. Mikey D brought him to see where it is, as a matter of fact. So we're leaving the show, and Jared says, hey, how about we take the elevator? So we,
Great idea.
for whatever reason, we decide to follow Jared. Mistake
Why?
number one.
Why?
The elevator is all the way down the hall, so we have to walk past where we normally would just walk down and go out. All the way down the hall, on the other side of the building, we press the button.
In the dark, by the way. In the
Takes
dark.
3 goddamn minutes for the elevator to show up. We get in the elevator.
It shows up like a fat drunk man. I'm here for the party.
Door,
Are you guys ready to party?
door closes.
I am.
And the elevator smells like stale pee and puke.
Door closes.
Like John Belushi on a bad night.
We hit. Well, I'm sure anything at this point he would, even on a good night of his, probably is not going to be smelling too great.
No.
We hit the button for first floor, ground floor, whatever the hell it is. Takes a minute for the thing to start going down, and then it gets to the bottom floor, and the doors don't open, and we're just waiting. It's another minute delay. I'm freaking out. I'm like, what if we're in here forever and I got to eat one of these guys to stay alive? What's going to happen?
I had water.
How are we going to be?
I had food.
I'll
I
tell
would've been
you.
fine.
I'll tell you guys honestly. There's nothing more terrifying than being stuck in an elevator in the prison, where like you're told just before the doors close that there's no camera, and then you're like, oh, okay, because the camera in that thing is busted, and then all of a sudden a bunch of inmates climb onto the elevator, and you're like, this is fine.
I'm okay. Start rocking yourself. I'm fine.
It's going to be a quick ride to the top, and then it's done. And the next thing you know, power goes out, and I'm stuck in an elevator with 5 inmates. Me and because I was doing I was bringing them
You had
all
your
their
little concessions
snacks.
cart with you?
Yeah, the concessions cart, and I'm in there with that stuff. I'm like, this is great. And then all of a sudden the lights go out because
Why not?
Yeah, I'm like,
course they do.
oh, okay.
And then you hear zippers in the dark.
They don't have zippers actually.
Oh, they don't?
No,
They're not allowed zippers?
they're not allowed zippers.
What are they going to do with a zipper? They can't hack themselves
They can't even
with a
have
damn zipper.
shoelaces. They can't even have shoelaces.
I know shoelaces,
Yeah.
that makes sense, but what's wrong with a zipper?
all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So
They button?
no, they're just like the draw stuff. Like the
It's
draw
just
pants.
hanging?
Yeah,
Just, okay.
flapping around in the
Flap
wind.
it around
Just
again.
hanging, flapping around. Oh, great. Yeah,
You
okay,
might
so
want to trim that.
that experience is moderately worse than what we experienced
No,
last
it's not
week,
moderately. It's
Yeah.
but
very.
not by much.
No, it is. It is because at least I could trust you guys.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
I trust
I mean,
you guys more than I trust in me.
We,
had-
like to keep an edge.
I mean, we had been with you for the past 6 hours, and we wanted to go home.
Yeah.
So
So what's killing
Never
me?
never
What's killing me
underestimate
in an
that.
elevator that's just taking its time to open the door? It's like a fat guy. I'm telling you, it's like a fat drunkard. You guys ready? I'm waiting. Are you guys in? Are you guys in the elevator?
Is everybody in?
Here we go. Here we go. We're going. Oh, I forgot to put it in drive. I just want to go.
Have you ever been in an elevator with an elevator operator?
Yes.
You remember those days?
Yeah. Well, yes. I have been in one. There's still some places that employ them.
Yep.
And
Harrods in London. That's a fun one.
There are a bunch of like Richards, those guys.
Yes.
Can I get on the 8th floor? The 8th floor? I just came from the 8th floor. I don't. That's your job, man.
The only elevator operator I ever want to be on an elevator with is Shirley MacLaine, circa 1960.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that apartment,
The
Shirley
Apartment?
MacLaine. Yes.
That was a great movie.
Aside from that, no, I could do without it. I can just press the buttons myself and just get where I need to go.
That's true. That's
All
true.
right, and on that note, here's more classic rock that's not by Jared.
Which is good.
That's like more like classic smooth rock. Sade. She doesn't get the attention that she deserves.
Then
Sade.
next week, why don't you request her on the program?
Because this is
comes
classic
before
rock.
ours? I'm saying if you didn't interrupt me, you'd hear the end of the
all right, what are you
sentence.
gonna say?
I said the show that comes before us.
Oh, I'm not
you could just
requesting anything
request
from
it. It's
that show.
80s. It's going to fit right in, sir.
He played some
Bear.
70s stuff today, though.
He did. He played some Gordon Lightfoot,
Yep.
and he
76.
played some Cyndi Lauper too, which I was jamming to when I got into the thing. Love Cyndi Lauper.
Me too.
I just when I
And
was
she's still going strong.
like I loved Cyndi Lauper. She was probably like the first celebrity crush I ever had. I was like, she's so hot before I even knew what hot was. Like I just something about her. I was just like, yeah,
I like a girl that looks different.
I dig that. You know what I'm saying?
She's probably a lesbian, but I would go with it.
Doesn't matter to me. It's fun. I didn't understand. It didn't matter.
No, it's fine.
So
I don't know what that means, but it's
508-531-1303. Call us up. Another big block of classic rock coming up. SNS on BIM.
Bridgewater's Saturday night soundtrack with Rob Hicks is all request. Call 508-531-1303. The classic is our part. What we rock is up to you.
Go out on a what car with what people? It's the lyrics like that make me love the Doors. 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack 5 to 1. The Doors before that heard Genesis in that block. Lost Cut by Flint, which was courtesy of Steve Rimmer. Had a twofer from Led Zeppelin. Kicked it off with Leonard Skinner. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer, and everybody turn your radios down just a little bit.
I'm just going to take off my
Why?
headphones.
Because Mikey D's here.
Hello, good friends, and the rest of the listening universe.
I'm just trying to protect
Jesus.
people's eardrums. You know what I'm saying? Just looking out for the listeners.
All right,
That's
so
all I'm doing.
before I stepped into this atmosphere up here, what's going on?
Atmosphere is right. It's hot up here.
It is.
Yeah. Fix
You know,
it.
the maintenance guys in
You
this
guys,
building
I'm
need to
fairly
fix
comfortable.
this.
Hot and
Maybe 'cause-
stuffy.
You insinuating it was
Yeah.
that way as soon as I walked in here?
Yeah.
You know what I've noticed in past weeks, but it's not going on this week, which is unfortunate. Is that there's usually like an atmospheric battle going on here in the sound booth. In other words, that there's like cool air coming out of that vent behind me in the ceiling, but then the radiator will start to kick on with the heat. So you get the heat, and then you get the cool air coming out. And then eventually the heat wins, but, it's just a little bit of an offset, which makes it a little bit more comfortable.
Hicksville, there's
What?
only one explanation.
What?
The Bridgewater Triangle.
That must be what it is.
Definitely.
Hey, what's going on down the hall tonight?
Oh, tonight. Nothing right now, but I see the metal detectors all set up down there, so that means dance. So I think Sister Scholars are having a dance tonight.
Okay.
So that's one of the organizations on campus.
Is there any way, possibly, that they could, ban perfume or something at these things?
Shut up.
Because holy God.
I like the way they
You got
smell.
13,000 chicks coming to a
13,000,
dance tonight,
huh?
and you're going to tell them to tone down.
Can I add something? I think they want to get rid of the metal detectors and hire me as the frisker.
Yes. Yes. Steve and I
That's why
will...
we have metal detectors.
I'd be rather good at that.
Hey, English boy, no offense.
I don't think you get where he's going with that. But
I think I do.
the
That's
whole-
why he has. That's why the guy from across the pond over here has hands.
Yes.
Jeez.
Right, Steve?
Oh, that's a double D. Oh, yes.
No, so they're getting.
Yeah,
I
you
think
can
it's
come
just
in.
the Scholars having a dance tonight.
I mean,
so-
if Jared and Steve go down there to be friskers, I might be able to get some words in edgewise for the rest of the evening. That might not be the worst thing in the world.
yeah,
That'd be fun.
kidding.
So anyway, what else is going on?
Not much as you were doing my usual. Very steady on the campus center tonight.
Cleaning up poop and
Doing a whole
vomit.
No.
That's later.
Cleaner, but yeah.
That's later after the sister scholars have been here for a few hours.
Yeah. No kidding.
I don't even know why I'm bad mouthing this.
Hey,
there's probably members of them listening, and they're like, "Why are they talking
I have a
trash about us?"
maintenance issue here.
Yeah.
Men's bathroom, out of paper towels.
Yep, fix it.
Serious.
Yeah.
Completely, yep.
Look how serious he gets all of a sudden. He puts his angry face on.
I was
You
down
serious?
there earlier. We had some.
Oh, yeah?
Unless it's not
We
coming.
had two when I
I'll get
was.
down there one moment and check on it.
Yeah, well, you
Oh,
know,
that-
and then you can also do something about the air conditioning in this joint, okay?
That I can't do.
Yeah, you can. What, you going to tell me some other guy needs to do it?
Yeah, close your mouth. We'll be all set.
Oh. Oh.
And there you go, sir. Just like a Hostess
Okay,
pastry
what's with the
zinger.
LZ T-shirt tonight, Steve-O? I mean, Robbo.
Robbo.
The second time I've called him Steve in about a month.
I know.
It is two times too many.
Yeah, no
He
kidding.
looks so much like me as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Not quite.
Yeah.
so where's the...
We must both look like Phil Lynott then, if
Probably.
that's the case. No, I mean, there's not. Just I try to wear T-shirts that are relative to the program and the bands that we play, and Led Zeppelin.
Well,
well,
speaking of Phil Lynott, have you played anything from him and the boys earlier?
not tonight.
No, I got a request.
that only means one
I
thing.
got a request later on tonight for him, so don't worry about
Good.
that.
That's all that counts.
Yep.
Little
Alrighty.
Brian Robertson, Scotty Gorham, we're good to go. Little
you go.
Rebel Rock.
Hey, they were playing Thin Lizzy and Wegmans today.
Were they?
Yeah, I'm really happy. Boys are
Which,
back in town.
Oh, yeah.
Well, of course, everybody boys are back in town.
Oh, Saved by the Bell.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Stop ringing.
Oh, I was right.
Maybe someone's paging them to tell them to fill the paper towels.
Yeah.
They're like, "Hey, do you know you got to get on this down here? Get the paper towels in
Get the
there."
paper towels.
There it gets all silent. No, it was no special occasion for the Led Zeppelin T-shirt. I just and keeping in consistent with how Steve likes to do things. I played a twofer from Led Zeppelin
you
earlier
go.
because I got a new shirt.
There you go.
You know,
I like that.
New shirt is occasion for a double shot. You know what I mean?
Of
That's how it
course.
goes. As always, Mikey D has brought an album with us tonight.
One of my favorites.
We're going to hear a track from that next. If you want to tell us a little bit about the record you brought up, actually.
UFO. Only change in that album there is Paul Chapman, who replaced Michael Schenker after he left. So they did maybe 2 or 3 albums with him, maybe more. But good guitarist. Not no Michael Schenker, but he's a good fill-in to replace him. And I seen him in concert after the Schenker days with UFO.
And this is the
damn good.
this is pretty far into their career, as a matter of fact. It was like their ninth studio album from '81.
Yeah.
I know a lot of when we've played UFO in the past, I've been listening to tracks, and they've been from like 76, 77, and at some point during the conversation, you always turn to me and go, "What year were you born again?" And then I say 78, and then you're like, "When your parents were making you, I was sitting there watching these guys rock out."
Yeah.
And it was great.
At the old Orpheum Theater, front row.
And
Wally
that-
Hatchet.
And that just dredges
Real
up
Speedwagon.
That just dredges up so many visual images that I don't need or want, but are still some of them are interesting, and some of them I just want to get away from as fast as humanly possible.
Yes.
So we're going to hear the first track from the first side of this album. It's Chains, and we're going to hear that after the little bumper here, and it's going to be
I
courtesy of
just
Mikey
want
D.
to give a little shout out to my son Glenn and family. Hello. And my granddaughter Perry Rose. So
Hey.
if they're listening, here it is.
Well,
right
they
to
better
you.
be.
Coming at you.
Wait a second.
Jared has a timeout facial expression on his
Wait a
face.
second. You've procreated?
Yes.
You don't know Mikey D pushed out an offspring, huh?
Yeah. I didn't know that was legal
not
in this
physically,
state.
I hope.
Yeah, we're hoping we're hoping a significant other did the work for you on that one. We're hoping you didn't do the pushing out,
No,
at least at the end.
please.
Oh, rabbit test. Remember that? Bert Bert,
Yeah.
what the hell's his name?
What's that?
I don't know where you're going with this, so you're out on the limb by yourself, flailing around in the
famous
wind.
actor. Burt
Burt Reynolds?
Reynolds. Thank you.
That was a shot in the dark.
As soon as he said, I had to push it out. That goes back to Burt Reynolds. Wasn't it a movie where he was pregnant? Rabbit Test or something like that it was called? Some cornball movie. We're going way back in the day.
Well,
Steve.
I got something to Google when we
All
get
right,
off the
look
air.
it up.
I don't think Burt Reynolds ever played a pregnant man.
Or something like that. Look it up.
No,
Yeah,
it was Arnold Schwarzenegger did.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
How long ago?
Like, I don't know, like in the early
80s,
90s.
20 years ago. He was in
Yeah.
junior.
All right, look, I don't know. Somebody did.
What the
We'll
heck?
have to look it up.
Arnold
Talking of this-
Schwarzenegger looks nothing like Burt Reynolds.
Maybe we're talking about a different movie, you knucklehead.
Has anybody seen the new advert for that new coffee drink with George Clooney and Danny DeVito?
I can't say that I have.
Oh, I think they're doing like a parody of Twins with Schwarzenegger and DeVito. It's quite funny.
Well, they're talking about doing
Hey,
a
Rob.
sequel.
Very
with,
very
Schwarzenegger.
I
comical.
never know what we're going to discuss and where it's going to lead to.
And then Eddie Murphy's going to come in as like, hey, I'm the third brother. And they're like, huh? And then that's the big thing.
I think my bathroom breaks from now on should just be when you three are here.
Yes.
Because I'm not going to get a word in anyway.
Nope. What?
I can go
No.
down the hall, do my thing,
Yeah,
come
you
back.
will.
So, like, Eddie Murphy's coming in.
So I'm
Everything here will be fine.
You know,
when
he's
when are
gonna
we
come
crawling under
I
the
don't know.
table?
Yeah, hey,
Is that soon?
Soon.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh, paper towels too, right?
Yeah, paper towels. Get
Steve,
get
do you
on
need
that.
paper towels?
We need paper towels.
I shall
While you're
return.
there. All right. We're
right,
going to hear
lock it on.
UFO in a bit. SNS on BIM.
The Saturday night soundtrack with Rob Hicks is on 91.5 WBIM. Bridgewater's weekend all request classic rock experience.
The Who, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS radio show, Pretenders before that, Bob Seger, Deep Purple, UFO all in that block, Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer.
Hello.
As far as I'm concerned, that wasn't UFO. Sorry, I'm that type that says unless Michael Schenker was in the band, no, that's not a UFO. Sorry.
Right, because I know Mikey D made a big deal out of the fact that obviously that album came out after Michael Schenker had already departed, and he was just giving us a different taste of UFO.
Sorry.
And you're just being contrarian because Mikey D brought it in.
Yeah.
I know what's going on. So 508-531-1303. We're doing classic rock until 11 o'clock. You can like us on Facebook. Just search for Saturday Night Soundtrack. You can follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack. And if you search for us on YouTube, just type in Saturday Night Soundtrack, filter for channels, and we're going to come right up there. And almost all the shows from 2015 are up there.
Almost.
Almost.
Last week's isn't.
Last week's is going to be up there by like tomorrow.
Damn it. I was trying to
I
listen
just
to
didn't
it.
But then
know.
would that make it all of them?
What?
Would that make it all of them?
It would not make it all of them because
Well, then there you go.
well, I said almost. The word almost, I don't know if you
He did
realize
say
this,
almost. I did hear that.
is indicative of the fact that not every show is there, but a majority of them are.
But I mean, is that? Can you really? Okay, listen.
The only show that's not up there is the one that I did by myself on the
Yeah, and who'd want to
on
listen
the
to that?
Takeover reunion, and that was kind of just a throwaway hour,
don't
and I
start
didn't really
him again,
want, you know what I mean?
I don't wanna be.
What are you guys gonna do? What are you guys gonna do with yourselves
Be careful now. When?
if we, you know, if for whatever reason we weren't able to do this every week?
I don't know. I'd probably pretend at home.
Yeah, I would be. Oh, but sorry.
Yeah. Can you turn individual
I-
microphones off?
I wish.
You wish.
I'm gonna.
Wanna be.
I'm gonna send a message to Peter George actually, and see if we can sort of make that.
That would be a very, very convenient
Sort of
thing.
make that update for the 2016 year. We can see what we can do. You know, as I've explained to you guys, it all depends on how things go in the meetings, and we figure out who wants
we're a
what
powerhouse.
slots. And
We're a powerhouse on this.
we are.
Dial.
We are.
We're the best show that they've got going on, and
We are as well.
I challenge any of the directors who are listening right now to tell us who is better than us right now, and
Exactly.
there's none.
There's
Sorry,
none.
pal.
It's actually a fair point. And the other thing that I was going to mention, too, is the fact that if any of you out there happen to see or come across Brendan Smith,
Kick him
Maybe
in
you
the
can
nuts.
shake his hand.
take a picture of him and put him on a milk carton or something like that, because I don't know where the hell the dude's been.
In the
Oh,
nuts.
that would be counterintuitive, just to take a picture, then go through all the work to put him on a milk carton. How about you just send it to us and be like, hey, I found Waldo.
Now, why is Waldo hiding anyway? I never quite worked that one out.
Because he murdered somebody.
Probably.
Somebody was dressed like that.
He's eluding the IRS.
In case anybody's not aware,
Wouldn't you want to wear something a little
How
less
about-
obvious?
now I have to search why is Waldo hiding.
Exactly.
Brendan Smith is or was our intern for the semester, and he was here for a bit, and we went off on on the break for the what holiday did we go on break for? I can't even remember. We
Labor
didn't
Day.
go on break. It was
Labor
like
Day.
it was
Labor Day weekend.
No, it was
Yeah.
Columbus Day.
Columbus Day,
That's what it was.
that's right.
And he told us he wasn't going to be here that weekend, and we said fine. And then we came back on. The week after that, it was a bad.
Do you know something tragic could have happened?
Well, it was a bad sequence of weeks, right? Because we knew he wasn't going to be in for Columbus Day, and then the weekend after that was the Takeover reunion, so he wasn't going to be coming in for that. And then the week after that was Halloween, and who knows if he had some sort of Halloween festivities happening.
You see, the last we talked to him, he left the show early to go and have a ingenue with his girlfriend.
Yes, he did.
Might have happened.
It's entirely possible. I know Jared was making several comments that evening as well.
According to the Yahoo Answers, the reason why Waldo was hiding is exactly what I alluded to earlier.
Because he's an IRS?
Yeah, because he owes the IRS big money.
Why do I feel like that's not the real reason?
Well,
And someone just put that up there.
Well, can I just say
reason.
something? He was originated in England, and his name was not Waldo. It was Wally.
Really?
So he changed his name when he came over here.
So now he's getting even more shady.
I believe the reason why then he's hiding is because he's hiding from customs.
Yep. He probably hasn't got a green card.
Oh, he lost his green card in his wallet somewhere.
Exactly. Be careful. Be careful now.
Oh man, I'm such a rich.
So how many times did Elizabeth Taylor get married?
I have no idea.
Well, you got 2, 4, 6, or 8.
8.
I'm going to say 8 as well. And
Really?
a few of them
She
were
married
for the
Burton twice.
I was going to say a few of them were to Richard Burton.
Yeah.
You know, I would have dated her in the
Yeah,
beginning.
you're correct. You are correct. It was 8 times.
Like she was a looker in Giant. Oh my God.
Oh God, yes.
And then she's like one of, I think it was like at the time, she was one of 3 known people to have violet eyes.
Violent eyes?
Violet.
Oh, Violet.
Yeah, violet.
She was a Medusa.
Yeah, she had like violet eyes, and she was like the only person, or like the 3
Giant,
known people.
That was James Dean.
Huh?
James Dean in Giant. Was that?
Yeah, he was in that too.
One, yeah.
And in Rock Hudson, he was in that as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Because it gets very quiet in here when
Yeah,
looking at your
well,
phone.
you know what I was just looking up? I was just trying to find, I was trying to look up to see if I could locate that goofy movie that Mikey D thought he was mentioning with Burt Reynolds in it.
Guess what? Because there's no movie
Well,
with
no,
Burt Reynolds.
hold on, because the closest that I was able to get was there's this movie that came out in, the hell was this, 1981 called Paternity, and the only summary on IMDb is a single man searches for a woman who will bear his baby with no strings attached. But that has nothing to do with him being pregnant.
Yeah.
I feel like Mikey D might have combined a couple of films in that case.
He
was like, hey, here's this Burt Reynolds movie about him trying to get a chick pregnant, and then, hey, here's this movie about Arnold Schwarzenegger being pregnant.
Yes.
And then he just kind of, in his Mikey D mind, he sort of melded the two together, and then
drunk.
As long as he puts paper towels in the freaking bathroom, he can be as drunk as he wants.
He's working on the job. And
is he really?
Yeah, it wasn't. There wasn't out. They were just jammed.
Because we need paper towels, if for nothing else, than to have napkins for the.
Absolutely.
It's time for us to eat our food.
We have to order soon because I'm getting hungry.
I was about to say, and by the way, in a little segue here.
I already gave him a pen.
What do we? Do we know? Nobody gives a crap about this, but do we know where we're going?
Chessman's.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like.
I was quite pleased with the service we got last week. So.
Okay.
And the pizza was rather good.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
So we do what we did last week, I think.
We'll be looking forward to that.
We'll
and
do it.
Yep.
You can give us calls, make requests. We got a few requests on deck that we're going to be peppering throughout the show for John. So stay tuned for that.
There you go.
A lot of good selections. I got to tell you, the taste that goes into these picks that we get every week is phenomenal because I like all of them. Everything that we've played for John, I like.
Yeah, well,
it's good stuff.
No, that's because he's our biggest fan, and rightly so. So
Yeah,
maybe when the clouds part for him, he'll he'll have a guest spot.
I mean, remember back in the day when
What?
remember back in the day when Nate used to be our biggest fan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you know,
memories.
the thing though is that at least John's consistent.
It's true.
Nate was for a little while.
Nate, screw Nate.
I don't want to.
He's not my type.
And you know how we were, Mikey D always likes to come in here and tell us about, I told that guy down at Tedeschi's to listen. He's never listening, so he's never even been on the radar.
I bet Mikey D has like a restraining order against
I went on
store.
Facebook in between discussions here, and a friend of my daughter's just moved to Bridgewater today.
Oh, really?
So I just texted her and said, turn on 91.5 and listen to us.
Do it up.
And if not,
call us. We'll give you
we're unfriending you.
Request something, we'll play it.
Yep.
That's how it goes.
Sarah.
Yeah.
We're following you.
So, because that isn't creepy at all. Another block of classic rock coming up. Oh, and now is a good time for this as well. SNS on BIM.
Got questions? Ask a Freemason. Just make sure you have a comfy chair, plenty of snacks, and at least a few hours to spare for when he actually starts talking. Jared Barbetta is on the Saturday Night Soundtrack on BIM.
It's Mothers of Invention, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack. Frank Zappa, of course, featured in that band. Before that, heard from U2. Rick Derringer by request, Styx and Tom Petty, they were all on that block too. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer, and that last track. I got to tell you, I love that track, Steve.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
I've never heard that song before, and it just has that classic early, mid '60s garage band sound.
Oh, yeah.
And
Well, we have some
that's good
information.
stuff.
Oh, yeah, he wrote it in 1965 while watching the original Watts riots, but he resurrected it in 74 and 91.
Okay.
With different kind of arrangements.
Sort of kept reworking it.
Exactly.
But, same sort of message.
But it was actually heard by a guy called Tim Wilson, who was a producer from MGM Records, and that's how he signed them, just on the track, that one track.
Understandable.
And he got a contract because of it.
That was some good stuff.
Yes.
Love that. 508-531-1303. Call us up for requests. Yes.
The other thing about the Freak Out album, not only was it Zappa and the Mothers' first album, it was a double, which was almost unheard of in those days.
So the first record they put out on people, they were like, hey, guess what? Not only are we giving you an album, here's two of them.
Two of them.
Deal with
fold sleeve.
Deal with this.
Exactly.
So.
Yep, and then deal with what happens afterwards.
Give us a call. Let us know what you want to hear. We're doing Classic Rock until 11 o'clock. You can like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack. You can follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack. And check us out on YouTube. Search for Saturday Night Soundtrack and filter for channels. Almost all of the 2015 shows are up there.
Almost.
Last week's is going to be up by tomorrow, and this week's is going to be up... who the hell knows? Whenever I have time, depending on how work goes this week.
You two big film guys, you know the French filmmaker Claire Denis?
Yep.
Okay, she had a movie out in 2001 called Trouble Every Day, named after that very song.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
And the trivia just keeps on coming about this track.
The beautiful thing about Google.
That's great. Back in the day when I was actually doing this for real, when I was going to college and stuff, I couldn't imagine having anything I wanted to talk about or any information I needed to know for a program had to basically be written down and brought with me at the time. There was no researching things on the fly. There was no looking stuff
anymore.
up. We didn't have any of this junk. Any of this stuff that you kids have nowadays.
Like, how do you build a fire? I don't know.
I have Google it.
I'll
The hell
Google
do I
it.
know?
I don't have Wi-Fi in the woods.
Oh, you know what?
I build a fire.
Oh, you're up the creek then.
We had a new ticket gun at work today, and nobody could work out how to load the new ticket labels into it, so we Googled it. That's what you do.
Oh, I thought everything was going to be free at Wegmans for a little bit. 'Cause
No.
they can't put any stickers on anything.
It's just for putting the dates on
Star
things.
luck. You guys can see better than I can if anything's going on down the hall yet or
Nope,
not.
They moved the table.
They moved the table.
Okay, so that's a start.
They heard our panting and they're like, oh, jeez.
That's great.
Like we gotta like look away from these guys.
You know what was sad, Steve?
What's that?
I went by drove by the Kingston, I don't know what you call it now, the Independence Mall, which is now the
Kingston
quote-unquote
Collection.
Kingston Collection. That's the saddest thing I've ever seen.
It is. It's stupid.
That place is ridiculous. It's 3/4 empty.
I
And
think
I don't get what they're doing.
I have 2 days off in a row next week, Thursday and Friday. I think one of those 2 days I will be making a trek down there.
They're talking about like putting in more high-end stores in there.
Well, they've been talking about that for a year and a half now.
Yeah, well, that stupid waxy place is finally opening up later on this month.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, and it looks terrible.
They were
some
gonna-
punk kids took down some of the drywall that was there. See inside it, it looks terrible.
So what's the food court like now?
Not surprised me at all.
The food court's going to go away when the two big giant food places open up, the food court's just going to go away.
Because they have a Wayback Burger that's going to be opening up there now.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
And I can't remember. My wife knows something about them. I guess they've got a Wayback Burger near where she works as well.
Oh, they got one in Stoughton.
And there's one. I can't remember. Jared, what's the other place that's opening up in the food? What's the other big place that they're opening in the food court? Do you remember? Oh, it is Waxy.
Yeah.
So Waxy's is on, but they're opening it up like sort of opposite the food court, though, right? When you come in the doors.
Yeah. So when you come, they're going to go be right where Uno's used to be.
Right.
Well, I'm going to take a trek down next week.
Where everything used to be and nothing survives because it was Uno's. And then remember when it was in that Italian restaurant for like a month? Or it was longer than a month, but I'm exaggerating because it wasn't there for all that long.
Yeah.
It was Uno's, then it was the Italian place, and it was just empty for like the longest time. Now they're going to try this Waxy's garbage. And then they get that Latitude 360 place that was supposed to go in, and then apparently that got canceled because everyone was like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a Charlie Horse type atmosphere with bowling lanes and, big screen TVs and music and stupid.
They have a
Nobody wants to do this.
What's mildly interesting
Stupid.
is that they have a sky room in there now.
What's that for?
That's like one of those rooms where you go into and then you step into a chamber and it blows up air at you.
And you float like
you're floating like a
free falling with a parachute.
like an
no
ass.
parachute. Yeah.
You know what I think about that? Stupid.
Stupid.
I mean, if they wanted, I don't know. I feel like there's so many other places that they could put in there and make this worth people's time. And everybody who's listening to us is probably thinking,
why don't you like fun?
But it's the dumbest thing in the entire world that they're doing this. They used to have a semi-decent mall. Everything closed. People left because the rent was getting astronomical.
Yeah.
They never rebuilt the Target like they said they were going to. They were supposed to be having, for the past 4 years, they've been talking about getting produce in the place. Nothing.
They're doing it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll believe that when I walk into Target.
Is the Starbucks open yet?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that is.
When I walk into Target and buy a head of lettuce, then I will believe
banana.
that there's
Banana.
something like that.
You have to buy a banana.
Banana.
Why do I have to buy a banana?
Because they have signs that say per one banana.
Banana.
I feel like I don't even want a banana from Target.
Banana.
You know what I mean? For some reason, I don't know. It must just be it's my critical nature from having worked there.
Yeah,
it's
me too.
it's the cynical
Yeah.
the cynical aspect of it. How long do they say for our food?
30.
Don't worry about it. You'll get it when you get it.
I'm just curious,
Just
sir.
sit down and relax.
No, it's great because
Sit the hell down.
because last week they told us an hour and it got here in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, they said 35 this time.
which
so-
is a little concerning considering the fact they had to cook it and drive it here, but it was
Well,
good,
you know what,
and I
my-
didn't die.
You know what?
Me too.
I think my chicken was a little undercooked because I showed Steve my chicken. It was all pink. And he's like, "No, that's okay. You can eat it."
He didn't show me
What
his
did
chicken.
he show you that was all pink?
It was not his chicken.
Is this okay? I don't understand.
I don't understand.
I don't
why
understand.
I don't understand. I don't get it.
You people are going to miss us on the Christmas break. You know you're
man.
going to.
We're the gifts to your ears.
You know it. Oh.
We need special Christmas cards producing.
Yeah, we should.
That was something that we
Don't
should
give the
have.
job to Jared.
Yeah, you know what? Whatever.
Hey, man.
2016, if we have a program, we're going to have T-shirts. I'll just take care of it myself.
What? I didn't say to take care of yourself. I'm just saying, hey, you have this account.
It hasn't been done for 11 months.
Oh man, you have this account that has like an extra bonus feature on it, and I just figure, hey, you know,
All
what?
of this research
Look
should have
for
been
it.
done months and months and
I
months
did.
and months
I
and
did
months ago.
research, and then I found, and then I made a mistake.
It should have happened.
I'm gonna punch you.
back last semester.
Answer the damn
Get
phone.
in there.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead. No pickup.
You know what? We're gonna go. Well, just in case, we're gonna just go to break and
There's
listen to
somebody that
some
wants to be on the
songs.
air. Put it on.
All right.
There we
well,
go.
We're going to songs. Okay. SNS on BIM.
So, you just spent hours putting together the perfect classic rock playlist?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's so cute. This Saturday night soundtrack with Rob Hicks on 91.5 WBIM.
It's the Ramones in 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack. Before that, the block we heard Velvet Underground. That was by request. Double shot of Neil Young, Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer.
Could you just keep it down a little bit, please?
Oh,
we don't want to disturb the people down the hallway.
rest of the program like this?
We're going to have to whisper from now on.
whisper through the whole thing. It'll be
Wouldn't want to upset anybody.
So anybody who doesn't understand, apparently, we mentioned earlier in the program that there was going to be some sort of a dance going on down the hall.
It must be a very quiet dance, though.
This is my thing, and I was saying that.
I hope we're on.
I was saying that to Steve.
Me too.
I hope we're on in the hallway.
Me too.
And then
Those things tilt.
No, I was doing that on purpose. So, to get the effect. I hope we're on down there, and I hope they're hearing this, and then they get, really angry at us, and they come down here and start batting down the halls.
If we're on down there, wouldn't that defeat the purpose of telling us to
shut
quiet
the
down?
door? I know, exactly.
You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. Hey, by the way, the bathrooms downstairs are much more convenient to get to. Not going to lie.
Now, which way do you go?
I'll show you one during the break.
Okay, good.
Great.
You two going to the bathroom together again?
Jared's gone to the bathroom with me twice now.
Third time.
It's a little concerning. But our Chessman's Pizza is in, which is good, because that was one more thing we didn't want to have to navigate with everything that's going on
looks
down the
yummy,
hall.
but I think they forgot what a mushroom looks like.
In other words, he got a bunch of penises on his pizza.
Nothing
help our
I don't know
cause.
why they wouldn't want to hear this down the hall.
Did you
I
give
really
Rob some of these?
don't know.
I didn't give him any napkins, because screw him.
We're such rabble rousers here. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Continuing with our history of offending people, Jared did not disappoint tonight. Just made the situation worse with the folks down there with a rather badly timed joke
About a machete. Yes.
I forgot that happened.
Think in terms of the things you're not supposed to joke about, like on an airline, and that's essentially sort of along the same lines as what Jared did.
Yeah, exactly. Although it was more than just a box cutter.
Not a joke,
No.
Steve. Not a
Not
joke.
a joke.
508-531-1303. Call us up. We're doing Classic Rock until 11 o'clock. We'll get your song on. I mentioned that the Velvet Underground track that we played in that last block was by request. We heard Sunday Morning. That was off the Velvet Underground Nico album.
Very nice.
45 years old, that album, which is pretty difficult to believe.
Holy shit.
Also, more difficult to believe is the fact that the gentleman who called up and requested it was named Phil Collins.
What?
In your face.
So he called, he requested the song, and then and you could tell this was, and I pressed it, and, I don't know why, because you can tell that anybody who has to, in the same breath as telling you their name, has to explain that that's actually their name, has probably heard so much of it
spent
throughout
his
their whole
life
life
doing this.
that he doesn't want to hear it from, a jerk like myself. So I basically was like, I don't mean to be a Richard, but are you serious? Is your name actually? And he's like, yes, my name is Philip Collins.
I can hear it calling in the air tonight.
Oh, come on. You've got him singing
Yeah,
again.
and I really, how can I predict that that's going to happen? There's no way, you know what I mean? I mean, we do a radio program where we're going to mention artists.
Yeah, that's
There's no
true.
way to avoid him singing, because anything I mention is going to have something to do with music. I don't really know where Men at Work came from, but
Because we're men at work.
well, I suppose.
Yeah.
Producing the best radio
Loosely.
show. on
You
the
took his
station.
mic away, and he's still talking. So thank you.
My pizza is sweaty.
In all honesty, thank you, Phil, for listening to us. And
thank you.
if anybody else wants requests, give us a call. We got more requests
Just
coming
don't-
in.
I'm waiting on you, Sting.
We got more requests coming in from for John. We're going to be playing more songs for him throughout the night as well.
We're not allowed to play any more Tom Petty.
Well, we already played a Tom Petty song for
That was
tonight,
enough.
so we're good.
That was enough.
We're good.
But you like a Tom Petty song.
Hey. Yeah, that wasn't it.
That wasn't it. That was it. I like one song, and that did not happen to be the one.
That was not the one.
So another classic rock block coming up, so we can eat our food and.
Eat it quietly, please.
Yeah,
Quietly.
just don't disturb anyone down the hall,
No.
please, for God's sake.
Hopefully the smell doesn't get out.
For the love of Christ. All of a sudden, I feel like I'm going to have to take a poop or something, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to want to go all the way downstairs for that.
No, yeah, actually, you're gonna have. You're gonna want.
It's going to be necessary.
Yeah, you're gonna want to, because it's actually. You know what? And I know I said this about the elevator, but I think it's much more convenient to go.
Now, can we leave that way too? 'Cause I think we're.
Well, yeah, we're going to have to
gonna
because the thing's still going to be going,
Yeah.
and I hope it doesn't get too loud for us down the hall. If I hear a note of music, I'm going to go down there and be like, "Can I talk to you for a second, please?
Yes.
Can you quiet that down,
Can you
please?"
shut the door?
Shut something. Grateful Dead's on deck next. SNS on BIM.
From ACDC to ZZ Top, we've got the biggest collection of classic rock in Bridgewater. You're listening to the Saturday Night Soundtrack with Rob Hicks on 91.5 WBIM.
It's Judas Priest, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS radio show, that one off the British Steel album. Heard the Edgar Winter group before that, AC/DC, CCR for John, and a double shot of Aerosmith. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer.
And you had Rick Derringer in there for John as well.
Rick Derringer was on that track for John as well, and we had heard Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo by Rick Derringer in the last hour or two.
There you go.
Played that for John as well. And anything you want to hear, give us a call, 508-531-1303. I think I was watching a program.
Just make sure it's something quiet.
Yes, just very mellow. I was watching a program within the past week or two. I think it was, I don't think it was The Walking Dead, but it might have been, where someone exclaimed Judas Priest, and I found that amusing. I don't think it was The Walking Dead, because it seemed like that would be a moment of levity that show would not have.
Yeah, and it was only the Morgan show last week anyway.
Correct.
God damn it.
I was going to mention this talk to you about it anyway. My wife was watching the show with me and made an astute observation. I hadn't really looked at this before. Got to the end of the episode from last week and sat there and reflected on it for a minute or two, and then she looked at me and she said, have you realized how when these people encounter other groups of people, they just completely wreck their lives?
Oh, yeah.
And areas and homes and everything else. Think your way through the program. The first season, obviously, they were on their way to wherever they were trying to get, and they end up at the CDC was going to get blown up no matter what, because he was bent on that. So they can't hold that against them. But season 2, Herschel and his farm, they were doing fine.
Yep.
Sure, he had some walkers in the barn, but whatever.
Exactly.
Destroyed.
They could have
destroyed that
burned
whole
down
deal.
the barn and then just called it a day.
Correct. The entire place just went up. Third season, the prison. Again, a prison, not an ideal environment, but they were still making out okay.
Yeah.
Rick and the gang shows up, destroyed. And it goes on and on. The
Alexandria.
Alexandria. Terminus was all messed up. But the place they're in, now was Alexandria the governor's town, or is the place they're in now the governor's town? The place they're in now is called what? Does it have a name? Okay.
Yep.
What was the governor's town called?
It called Terminus?
No, Terminus was the other place. Terminus was a place where they got there and things went sour really quick.
Oh.
Like they got there and all of a sudden realized, they're cannibals, and they realized it within like an episode.
Oh, that's right.
There wasn't a whole lot of build up there. The governor's town, Andrea and Michonne were there for a while.
Yeah.
Until everything blew up, and I can't remember the name of that town.
What fan you are.
But anyway, the whole point is, no matter where they go, just disaster in their wake. So if you see, they're survivors, so that's fine. But if you see Rick and his team coming, run the other way.
Yeah.
Or don't follow them, because the whole thing is, if you follow them, you're going to leave your life of relative luxury in the zombie apocalypse, and you're probably going to be screwed.
Yep. I don't know. I think at this point, someone in the group should be like, hey, it's weird that every time we go to a town, it busts up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe we shouldn't be doing this thing together.
This isn't really...
So, do you think they're going to resolve the Glenn thing this week?
I don't know. I hope so.
How will they? I can't work this out, because he died with this other guy and nobody else around.
But did he die with the other guy? That's the question.
I believe he did.
Because you don't actually see it happen.
No,
you
but
get the impression that it's probably
happening.
They made
rumblings this week because his name's not in the credits anymore.
Yes, I saw that as well.
But they also made rumblings to the fact that I think Rebus said it, he's got to be back on the show in some form, whether it be in a flashback or in some different version of Glenn, i.e. he may come back as a walker.
That would be awesome.
Especially if he got into Maggie, that would be really fun.
I remember, I'm always been a huge fan of Lost, and when there was a rumor going around that they were gonna when they were gonna off one of the major castmates, and then they did what they're doing on Walking Dead, where someone blew up and you're like, oh, they're dead. The next 4 episodes, that person's name was not on the bill, and then that led to a lot more rumors going, oh my God, they killed him. And then he came back because he wasn't really dead.
But I mean, the question becomes: are they being coy about Glenn at this point because of the fact that they figure they'll drum up some more ratings or some more talk about the
Did
program.
they need to?
Because that's my point, is that in the past, every time something has happened to a major cast member, there's been no ambivalence.
No.
It happens. Everyone has known from the beginning that, probably with the exception of Rick, that no cast member is really, really 100% safe.
Mm-hmm.
And they've shown this time and time again by offing major characters.
I think Daryl's safe too.
So, I mean, and that's the thing, is like, I don't see why they would play coy with Glenn, who granted is a fan favorite, but probably not as big a fan favorite as Daryl has become at this point.
No, he was the third credit, I guess.
Right.
So
why would they be so coy about Glenn if he was actually really dead? Because then it's almost anticlimactic.
Mm-hmm.
Because all this talk and speculation, is he dead? Is he really not dead? And then all of a sudden, if Rick came back and was like, I saw Glenn, he died. Like, that's sort of, there's nothing left at that point. It's like, oh, okay, so he actually is dead.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't really give you any closure.
Tomorrow, maybe.
So I guess we'll find out. We'll find out tomorrow. Did that episode need to be an hour and a half last weekend, by the way?
I couldn't work out why.
It wasn't necessary.
No, I don't think so.
It was, I don't know.
And did you see the change in Morgan at the end when the other guy dies and he gets back out in the wild again and reverts almost immediately back to his former self? I mean, that was pointless.
Right, he does, and the whole idea is supposed to be that he's carried the teachings of the Zodiac guy, or whatever, Drew Carey's brother there.
Yeah.
He's carried his teachings forward because of, how he's in the town when Carol's shooting everyone left and right, and Morgan's like, you don't need to kill him, and she's like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do.
The whole point was supposed to be to show why Morgan got to the point where he believed they didn't need to be killed, and like you said, he pretty much reverted fairly quickly.
Yeah.
So you got to wonder what happened along the way that ultimately made the teachings stick, because it doesn't look like immediately it necessarily stuck.
No.
So
Who is this?
Warren Beatty.
Oh, okay.
And there again, the guy was living a perfectly good life in his house, just with his goat.
With his goat.
You know what I mean?
Survived all that length
Everything
of time.
was fine. Morgan shows up 2 days.
Boom.
Goat's dead.
Yep.
Guy's dead.
Yep.
Morgan, and it was all Morgan's fault because he hesitated because he was like, oh, look, the zombie of the guy I strangled with my bare hands. Well, you jerk.
Yep.
That's what happens. Maybe you should have finished him off. You might have wanted to think about that.
God, it's getting warm in here.
Yeah, oh, my God, yeah. It's so warm.
No, I'm not that bad.
No,
I got
'cause
this on.
Because
You guys are just being babies because of the situation outside.
the problem, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of
That's the only reason why you
childish,
guys. That's the only reason why you guys are
a little
whining.
bit of childish spite going on, but at the same time,
It's warmer in here
as
than
I
it was when the door was open.
As I mentioned to Mikey D, we do have the heat cranking through the
Yeah.
radiator back here, and now there's no place for it to escape because the friggin' door is closed because we're too loud, even though we're a radio program down the hall from an event that's probably going to be a hell of a lot louder. But that's none of my business. So,
You're drinking tea.
508-531-1303, and after the conversation that was had earlier, I think Jared should permanently be our liaison with the outside world.
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
that always tends to go so well.
Really well.
I'm going to bring a machete. Hey,
That's
don't
not a
come
joke.
around here anymore. Oh, okay.
Come around here no more.
Right, stop it.
I'm going to find out whenever we end up having this meeting within the next month or so. We're sitting in the meeting, and all of a sudden, I'll raise my hand for a Saturday Night Slot, and they'll be like, "Yeah, we actually heard some negative feedback from the Sisters of the Brotherly Convent or whatever's going on down the hall, and we don't actually think you're the ilk that we want representing the station
You and your rock and
on
roll.
Saturday nights. You hippies."
Yeah. Rock and roll, bringing in all those bikers.
Rock and roll, bringing in that creepy janitor. Oh, Mikey D. Come to think of
biker
it,
types.
does Mikey D have to avoid
I don't know.
I don't know.
We're actually just wondering that myself.
or does he get a free pass because he works around here?
He
And
probably
he's
gets
got
a
the
free
BSC
pass.
shirt.
They're like, that guy looks like a rapist. Let's leave him alone.
He's the scariest one of us all.
Oh, he smells like Jack Daniels. Let's just let
Oh.
him walk right on through.
Oh man, he definitely smells like rape. Let's leave.
He smells like rape. Oh, this is great. This is fantastic.
No sensitivity.
If you thought that we were
Sensitive girls.
mildly offensive earlier, just wait. It just gets worse as the evenings roll on.
As it goes, and that's kind of like the charm of our show.
No,
Like,
that's it.
We start out all nice and calm, and like everybody's like, "Oh man, I had such a lovely afternoon." Yeah, I did too. Would you like some crumpets? I would love some crumpets. In your face.
And then it gets louder, and Jared yells.
Yeah. I'm yelling.
508-531-1303. Call us up, make requests. We got another big classic rock block on the way. Pink Floyd on deck next. SNS on BIM.
If your bed is in a small town and that's good enough for you, you're one of the only listeners who can hear us on an actual radio. Congratulations. Bridgewater's Saturday Night Soundtrack with Rob Hicks on 91.5 WBIM.
Stevie Ray Vaughan on 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack, and for that heard Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. Had a massive twofer there from Pink Floyd also, another Brick in the Wall, parts 1 and 2. Then we get on some Lucifer Sam from Piper at the Gates of Dawn, which was a request for Phil Collins, who's still listening to us.
Very good.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, so far. So 508-531-1303. You can get your calls on, too. We're doing Classic Rock until 11 o'clock. We can get on anything you want. Like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack. Follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack, and then check us out. We got a YouTube channel going. Just search for Saturday Night Soundtrack, filter for channels. We'll come right up, and a whole bunch of... Now, when we mentioned that all the show, or almost all the shows, I hasten to mention, from 2015 are up there. Please keep in mind, it's not all the music that we play on the program, because we can't do that as a royalty rights dictate. I've attempted to do so, and have had videos blocked swiftly as a result. So it's just all of our conversations, our on-air dialects, so on and so forth, and just us being zany and fun, and the hosts
as we are,
loud and obnoxious.
the hosts that you love to spend your Saturday night with is basically what it is. Can you turn your microphone to your mouth?
But you don't like this?
Please turn it.
It gives a nice ambiance.
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It might be nice ambiance like once, because so it's sort of like, oh, I feel the dynamics of the studio, and then past that point, it's just annoying. It's like you're Mikey D. Do you want to be Mikey D? No.
Well, I mean, you know,
don't.
I already am. I'm too loud as it is. People are like,
Well, we're all too-
you got Steve over here wincing and taking off his headphones. I'll say you're too loud.
The entire program is too loud.
Apparently. Shudders.
Yeah.
For some of us. So I went to Walmart today, and, Mikey D was mentioning this Led Zeppelin shirt that I have on, which, just a new T-shirt that I happen to get. It's of no consequence. I like Led Zeppelin. Saw the T-shirt. It was on sale, and I said, boom, I need another T-shirt, because who could ever have too many T-shirts? So I just got it. And this is probably more for Jared than yourself, Steve. But Jared, do you ever go to when you go to Walmart? Is the guy in the wheelchair ever sitting there as the greeter?
Oh, God. Let's talk about the guy in the wheelchair.
Do you know who I'm talking about, right?
Oh, man, I love your sideburns. Can I touch them?
Has that conversation actually
Yes,
taken
it
place?
has.
All right.
Exact words. Can you touch my sideburns? No. Can I call you sideburns? No. But you have such great sideburns, sir. Can I just touch them? I just want to... No, you cannot touch them.
Okay, so you're familiar with the gentleman.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're on our way into the... And this is one of those things where we try to employ this same tactic when we're going in and there's, as my wife likes to call them, beggars. The cheerleaders that are standing out there with the cups looking sad and they want your money and whatnot. And we try to employ the same thing. We try to surround ourselves with other shoppers who will distract them, sort of like blockers in football. Just surround yourself with me, with us, so that we can just head right in and do our business. So we're going into Walmart today, and we're heading in. We're the only people at that, and I don't know why, because it was like 1 o'clock. It should be prime time for people
It's Walmart.
shopping for stuff and everything else. But we're heading in the door, and he's sitting there. And you just wait. Nobody around
has no
us.
choice.
Nobody around us for feet. Right. So we come in. He looks at me and he goes, "Hey, Zeppelin rules." So I'm like, yeah, dude. And I expect to keep going because I've got business. My wife's going to the bank, right? So she goes to the credit union that's there in the
just
Walmart.
wheels in front of you.
to
Can I
do the
touch
thing.
your sideburns?
No. So she wants to go to the bank, and then he starts asking me about Led Zeppelin. He starts talking about, do you have the Celebration Day album? Did you see the, oh man, there's a documentary, right? There's a documentary, and it's on the OUI channel. I didn't understand what he said. And
so excited.
so he's going on and on and on, right? This conversation goes on for 2 minutes.
How old is this guy?
He's probably like in his late 20s.
I would say
okay.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't realize, but my wife has completely left me by this point. She is headed directly to the... as soon as he started talking to me, she just left.
Bolted.
Because she knew.
And I was just there. And then, so the conversation goes on for an awkward 2 minutes. I finally depart because somehow I've managed to break away from him. Nobody else has still come in at this time because usually he's ready to anybody that comes in, and he hasn't.
I love your sideburns. Can I touch them? I just want to sniff them.
And this hasn't happened because nobody's been coming in behind me, which was what I was hoping for. The saving grace I was looking for was for somebody to come in.
Probably what happened was they're walking to and they got through the first sliding doors.
Right.
And they saw you and him. But
the thing is, but I should have been the perfect diversion because anybody who didn't want to have a 2-minute conversation, he was obviously already embroiled in what we were talking about and probably didn't care. So we have the conversation. Mercifully, after 2 minutes it ends. Turn around, my wife's nowhere around, so I head off to the bank. I go to meet her, and she's just stepping away from the window at the time, and she's just got this. She's got this smirk on her face because she knows that I just got stuck back there.
She left
and
you.
I was like, you would be awful
Dumped.
in war. Like, leave no man behind. Like, just things start happening of, F you, I'm getting the hell out of here. And she's like, yep, that's absolutely right.
Yep.
And then we had to go out.
It's cold.
We had to go out the doors by the pharmacy at that point because... And she led that way, and I wasn't thinking about it. And then when we got out that door, I was like, did you go out this way just so we would avoid running into him within 5 minutes? And she's like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He
Does he work there?
Yeah, he works there.
He does.
And he's there, and he's a fine kid. Nothing wrong with the kid.
No, he seems very friendly. He seems very outgoing. He seems very passionate about things.
Here's the thing that happened with me with that guy, right? I go in there, and he's at the greeter. Hey, I love your sideburn right now. Okay, pal. And then we go on. And then, I'm going throughout the store doing my shopping, and then I get to the entertainment department, and I round the corner, and then, oh man!
Yeah, because he's in that department a lot as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
if he's working there and he's not in the front at that main door, then he's gonna be in the entertainment section. This gentleman is a mess, sir.
Oh God! How many weeks has he worn those for? And he still can't keep them on his head.
No,
it's been a year.
I went
at
to
this
go
point.
scratch something, and it felt. Shut up! All right.
Did you know, by the way, that today is the? It's not only the anniversary, or technically yesterday was, but it's not only the anniversary of when you began on the Saturday Night Soundtrack. 1 year ago today is when you and I went to go see Interstellar on our exciting trip to Reading.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
Excellent.
Where were you? Ass.
I wasn't sharing a bathroom with you two, that's for sure.
Jeez. So, so everybody applaud Jared. He's been on the Saturday Night Soundtrack for 1 year as of tonight.
Who's at the door? Hey! And he wheels in. I love your sideburns. I heard them on the radio.
So the other, that was the other thing too. And my wife's like, she's like, you should have had. She's like, do you have a pen on you? I was like, for what? She's like, no, a pen. You should have given him a pen, and then told him to listen to the program.
Oh
no.
So I'm thinking. So
He probably listens to the show anyway.
Well, my next thought was, now that we've had this in-depth, because I usually try to even avoid eye contact, but he just basically says, all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's almost like, we go there a lot. So my thinking is he probably remembers who we are. But now am I doomed to hear, hey, Led Zeppelin rules every time I go to Walmart now?
I hope so.
Because that is not...
I went and I got my hair cut once.
Put you off going to that
and the girl
skanky
that
place
cuts
in the
my hair,
first
she
place.
cut my sideburns down.
And he was like, don't cut those sideburns.
No. She cut my sideburns too low, and I go in there. And excuse me, and I go in there, and then he still yells, "Hey, sideburns, how you doing?"
Now it's an ironic nickname rather than a literal one.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
So
I don't want to.
Another big block of classic rock coming up. We're actually going to kick it off with
conversation.
Yeah, we've got a medley. Or a melody, as Jared calls it.
Yeah, a melody.
A medley.
Tribute of Harry Nilsson songs.
Oh, nice.
Harry Nilsson. I love The Point.
Yes,
I saw The Point when I was a kid in school. They're like, here, kids, watch The Point. And then they're like, me and my arrow. And I'm like, oh, my God.
You've told this story on the air before,
and
by the way.
And it freaked me out, man.
I know. It freaks everybody out because it's a freaky show.
Yeah, and then years later, I'm working at a video store, and someone's like, "I need to see this movie." I'm like, "What movie?" And I look and I see the photo on the computer. I'm like, "Oh my god, that's the movie!" And I bought 2.
There you go. Well, it's going to be a tribute to Harry Nilsson
When's
coming
that
up.
Be on Blu-ray for F's sake.
I don't know.
Not. Well, it probably is. They throw everything on Blu-ray eventually.
Yeah, I just picked up the. Let's go.
All right. SNS on BIM.
Whether you're spending a night in town or just a night in, we've got you covered. It's All Request Classic Rock on Bridgewater's Saturday night soundtrack with Rob Hicks at 91.5 WBIM.
Jimi Hendrix at 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater Saturday night soundtrack. That one brought in to us from Steve Rimmer, so thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
That was live from Hendrix in the West doing Johnny Be Good.
Wow.
Interesting thing about that one is, I'm just going to, flex my nerd muscles here again and mention Back to the Future yet one more time. One of the many guitarist that Marty McFly imitates while he's playing Johnny Be Good in the first Back to the Future is Jimi Hendrix.
Yes, it is.
And, there's Jimi Hendrix doing Johnny Be Good. It all connects, so my nerdiness is a little bit vindicated in some way.
Yeah.
7 minutes after 9, Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer, and Mikey D is back.
No, Jesus.
Greetings.
Yeah, and I got the answer for you, by the way. The last Hendrix gig ever was in Germany on September 6, 1970.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And then what?
And how long was that before he passed?
Well, he passed in 71, so...
So it was a bit then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great pick. Great album, great choice from him, and you putting it on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was great.
Now
It was a toss-up. He handed me the album, and I was going between that one and Sgt. Pepper's, but I wanted something that really moved at the beginning of the...
that was fantastic.
At the beginning of the hour.
I'm very familiar with that version, but wow, I just haven't heard it for a while.
Something that really cooks. That's what I was looking for there.
Ever known him
I see what you did.
to be a non-cooker?
Oh.
The guy just rules.
Absolutely.
Actually, I got it wrong. He didn't die in 71. He died in 1970.
Okay.
So September 18th.
So maybe it was closer than we thought. What was the date of that gig? Did it say?
It was it was September 6th. So it was,
Within
12 days
Yeah. Wow.
at the age of 27.
Imagine that the guy's been
27
deceased
club.
for how many
Yeah.
years? Since 70?
So 70, 30, so 45 years.
Yeah.
And here he is, dead, right? And as he's dead...
Here he is, dead.
Yeah, right? Even though he's been deceased for 45 years, whatever it is, that long, he's still ahead of his time being dead 45 years. He is that incredible.
In case anybody didn't pick up on this, Mikey D likes Jimi Hendrix.
No, just to tell it like it is.
No, he was.
Get on YouTube and just catch him.
He was phenomenal. I mean, there are
Your jaw's going to drop.
There are certain songs that get played a lot on mainstream radio that I don't like as much. But then there are certain songs of his that do get played on mainstream radio that I just crank up my radio every time. I was driving home the other day and I was listening to stuck in a little bit of traffic and Voodoo Child came on and he's got that note that I always considered it. I always call it the quote unquote falling note. That he plays it near the beginning and then he plays it at the very end for a longer period of time. And it's just that's one of those notes that just gives me goosebumps in rock and roll. Like that note is incredible.
He's on, I cut him on YouTube every so often, right? He's on some talk show. I don't know if it was Dick Cavett, Merv Griffin, long time ago.
Sure.
And somebody asked him about reading music. He says he doesn't read music. Never did.
There's a whole bunch of them out there that don't read
what he
music.
does, he's got a guitar, right-handed guitar, plays it upside down, and he doesn't even touch the strings. And half the time he's not even looking at the strings or his guitar or nothing. He's like totally blindfolded, if you know what I mean.
He would play it behind his head.
Tongue,
do all
teeth,
sorts of
between his
ridiculous
legs,
stuff.
behind his back, and it seems like he doesn't miss a note or a beat.
Insane stuff.
He's from another dimension. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, okay.
So how's your night going? Is it
As usual.
Is it chaotic?
Not chaotic, just very steady earlier. It still is.
How are you maneuvering around the thing that's going on over there?
I was checking on it earlier. Wasn't too many down there yet. I mean, as I was passing through doing my job, but Had to get out of there early because it's going to be complete mayhem, I think.
Didn't
with Sister Scholars having a dance, place going to be packed, bringing them in,
Didn't seem too loud down there, did it?
No, not at the moment.
Oh, good.
A little while ago it wasn't. I don't think they even had the DJ set up yet.
Oh, probably not. I don't want it to be too loud down there.
No, we
what I
don't
mean?
want it to interfere with our show.
Nope, wouldn't want anything to happen like that.
Nope.
So I was impressed.
I'm not bitter or anything
I was
either.
impressed with that Hendrix cut and that album, which I don't think I've ever seen before. Goes back to, Hendrix in the West?
Hendrix
from
in the West,
1971. Hey, kid, hey, Rob, if you don't mind, could you just, for the...
Did he start off by saying, hey, kid?
You kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
what do you... Yeah, I probably did.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, read off the songs that are there.
All right, so you got so you got Lover Man, got Johnny Be Good, which we played, Blue Suede Shoes, Red House, which is always a great one, The Queen, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and then wraps up with Little Wing and Voodoo Chow, which is a twofer that I can
Sgt. Pepper's
imagine being a he
Hendrix
did
version.
Sgt. Pepper's. Yep.
Wow.
It's sort of like the like when he played in, I believe he played in Monterey. He played his own version of like a Rolling Stone.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's not the kind of song that you'd expect to come from him, but his version of it, it's just like he puts his own stamp on his version of it, and it's still a Dylan tune, but somehow he makes it a little bit of a Hendrix tune as well. It's pretty impressive.
Hendrix could take anybody's song and turn it into a Hendrix version.
Yeah, basically. Oh, Star Spangled Banner? That's not a problem. I'll take America. I'll take this one for you. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Wow, what's going on?
I don't know what happened.
Bang.
Headphones and microphone should never meet.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So what else is going on out there? Anything fantastic, good,
No,
not good?
I was hoping that we had like another topic to talk about that was that I could sink my teeth into.
So what do you want to talk
I
about
don't know.
then?
I had nothing because
Come up with
my
something.
thing is still.
I actually was being nice to you and not talking about football this
We
week.
had to
if
lighten
you'll
up on
notice.
him last week because he was just a tad bit under the weather.
What the hell are you
Right?
talking about?
You weren't feeling that well last week. Remember?
No, I don't remember.
I
You don't
do.
have to remind. My thing is still in transit.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
So, yeah.
We're gonna talk about the fact that you teased this thing and then nothing's come of it.
Oh, I haven't really. I haven't.
Well,
I haven't
we'll
given you a taste. I've given people at my
Yeah.
work more taste.
We'll discuss it in a bit. And so, Mike, we were talking about earlier, trying to figure out how many shows we have left up here. And I'm going to estimate probably about 4
Oh, for the semester.
after tonight. Yeah. So we got. So we're going to have a couple. So the 14th and the 21st, and we're not going to have one the week after because that's going to be the Thanksgiving holiday weekend.
We should hijack the studio.
Place,
So have it anyways.
place shuts down for that. And then we'll be back. I think if it follows suit like last year, I think we did a couple of shows in December, around the 12th or 13th. That was usually about it. So I'm
Then
figuring
the
probably
Christmas
about 4.
Winter break.
4 or maybe 5. I'm horrible at math, and I can't think of how many shows there might be in December. So if there's 2 or 3, it's going to be 4 or 5.
We're still going to cherish it.
So I'll cherish it absolutely because we're hoping to come back next semester. We'll see how things go. There's going to be a meeting probably within the next month or so. Talk about the scheduling for the spring semester and so forth. And I know a lot of new interns have been coming in, and some folks may be looking for spots. But I also know that Saturday night is not really prime real estate necessarily for college students. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll see if we're fortunate enough to be able to get some time back.
Intern.
I don't know. I have no idea.
He made, maybe 3 appearances?
Yeah, this guy did something. I don't know. I don't know what it was.
I did nothing.
Did think maybe Mikey D scared him off?
I think it was
I
a
think it
combination
was-
of a lot of things.
Quick to answer on that one.
Yeah, I think I think all of us probably intimidated him to a certain degree.
You think?
I believe the environment was just a little bit more boisterous, maybe, than he had planned for. I don't know.
Maybe with the 4 Marx brothers up here, he couldn't get one word in edgewise. You know what I mean?
It's possible. And believe me, Mike, I know exactly what you mean. I deal with it on a weekly basis. I am fully familiar with what you mean, sir.
Okay.
Very.
What's going on?
Have you had any good? Have you had any? What are you eating nowadays? Is it Johnny Macaroni? You haven't talked about Johnny. You haven't talked about Johnny Macaroni.
Why you ask me what I'm eating?
Because you haven't talked about. First of all, yes, you
I
did
thought
that.
maybe you're looking at me with my T-shirt on here.
Well, I'd rather
I'm
do
eating healthy
I'd
food,
rather do that than
vitamins,
look at you
supplements.
without your T-shirt
Based on
no
the hair on
offense.
your arms, I thought it was a
Without
sweater.
my T-shirt, you want me to show you or what? Hold on.
No.
Hey, Steve, hold my T-shirt.
No, nobody.
What? Thank you. You sure?
Yes, I'm positive.
Okay.
Absolutely
okay,
positive.
We'll save for
Does
another.
it really matter? He has a wool
Hey.
T-shirt.
Hey,
sweatshirt
That was
underneath.
close. That was a close
Hicksville.
call. Yeah.
We'll save that for another time, right? You guys don't mind.
No,
me.
we're not saving that for any time, Mike. That's not
No-
getting saved. That's
no
getting
time
thrown in the
better
trash.
than no time.
What?
It's not happening.
Me?
Yes,
my
you.
T-shirt or my body?
You're getting thrown out,
Oh
sir.
my God! So no,
Okay,
my
go
only,
ahead.
the only point of my question is you were last semester. You were all over. You know what I mean? Like you were all over Johnny Macaroni's, talking about it every.
I haven't seen
week.
much of those cats lately, but they
Oh, hanging around in the back.
I think a young kid there named Matt always listened to the show, and the rest of the cats there, cooks, preppers, whatever.
What about your friend down at Bogart's? I mean, you get no calls from him either.
We haven't heard from him for a while, have we?
No, we haven't.
No joke. He better be listening Saturday night.
We're getting new callers, which is great.
Okay, yeah.
You know, we got a guy named Phil Collins listening to us.
That's his real name?
That's his real name. Believe me,
guy.
I pressed him on this, and he sounded annoyed that I was asking him about it, but not.
He's probably equally annoyed that we keep on bringing him up.
Not annoyed enough that he
But he
didn't
make-
stop listening to the program because
Okay.
he called twice for requests.
But he make okay. That's my next question.
So that's good.
He makes requests. That's
Oh
all
yeah,
that counts, right?
absolutely. He
Okay.
makes good requests too. So we
Yeah, he
played.
does.
Had some
Philly-
Pink Floyd for him, and
All right,
I forget
Phil-
what else we got for him earlier on
Whatever.
in the show. But
Philly C, make another call. We want to hear from you.
Philly C. That's better than, you know what I mean? I mean,
Oh, God.
you might as well embrace Philly C as opposed to Phil Collins if you're really tired of being called Phil Collins.
So we have no gray and black attack.
No,
That's going on for how many weeks now?
I have no
It
idea.
doesn't matter. It's over.
I don't. Mikey D's like, you know what Mikey D's like? Mikey D's like the guy. You break up with a girl, right?
Oh, geez, don't get me going on that now.
I'm just saying.
Oh, it's touchy. That's a touchy
All right, go ahead. But I
This
want to
is-
hear it
Hey,
anyway.
Jared, it's not a joke. That is not a joke. Okay, it's not a joke. You break up with a girl. Mikey D comes in for the next month every week going, did you hear anything from that girl? You don't talk to her anymore, huh? How long has it been now that she hasn't called you? It's been a while, Mike. It's been a while. I don't want to talk about it. That's like you with the gray and black attack. We don't want to mention the people who have forsaken us and forgotten the fact that we even exist. You know?
Unheard of.
Richards.
I don't understand. Nate, God, rest in peace, Nate, because I don't know where the
I
hell
guess he
happened.
does Friday at nights there, so he can't listen to us.
That's
What?
But he can still
That's-
listen to us if he's close by. Even if he's on another planet, he's got the internet. So no excuses.
But that's when he always used to listen to us. Was
know.
he would have it on in Tedeschi's all the time. That was
Hopefully
the
he's
whole-
doing something worthwhile.
That was the whole point.
Drugs.
Was he would listen to listen to us and then call, and that's not happening. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is.
So I don't know. Well, Joel from his establishment around the corner up the road by the lights, I don't know what his problem is. I'll have to go there tonight after the show and
Oh,
knock him
Oh,
up.
here we go.
all right. Here.
All right, then who else?
Another empty promise. I'm going to go see him.
Who else we got?
Nobody. That's
Nobody. You
basically it.
scared everybody away.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, a shout out to the staff and crew at Johnny Macaroni's.
They're not even listening.
You never know. Hey, they probably said, "Oh, Saturday night, Mikey D's on. Let's get another channel."
You could drop a radio off in a dumpster, and then even the trash will start crawling out of it, and be like, I can't be here.
Did I just hear he's going to take his shirt off? Holy crap!
I think I just heard the campus clearing out.
Turn it off the thing. Got some more UFO on deck. Tell us about this one, Mike.
UFO Paul Chapman, who took Michael Schenker's place back in like 79, 80 after he left the band, and filled in, did a fantastic job.
Jared's not really much of a fan of UFO past
Robbie.
Post Michael Schenker. Let me just
that's
make that clear.
Probably with him, probably pre Michael Schenker.
So the album that we got is The Wild, the Willing, and the Innocent. The 9th studio album from '81. We're going to hear Making Moves.
And that's all we do up here is making moves.
Well, not, you know what I mean? Like, not.
Hey,
let's specify.
Real quick, did you notice?
Very quick.
Did you notice if we don't have any paper towels there, guy? Because the paper towel machine does not work. Do your
Working
job.
fine
Make
when I
some
went down
moves.
there earlier. I'll check it one more time when I leave.
There you go.
Did you?
All right, UFO 91.5
UFO.
on your FM dial. BIM UFO.
It's not UFO.
Listen, if you're not, then you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. I'm out of here. Bye.
Oh, boy. See ya. It's Police 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS radio show, Canary in a Coal Mine. double shot of Van Halen before that, and heard from UFO, Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer. I have to pee, and I'm afraid.
Oh, you're going to have to go a different place, sir.
I know. And I don't feel like doing that. I don't like...
No.
I don't like breaking routine and tradition.
But it's good.
You know what I'm saying?
It's good. I use it already, and it's great.
That's fantastic. I'm glad it's got your...
It would be hard getting past that table at the end of the corridor anyway. I
mean...
You got it pretty well blocked off.
Yeah, I mean, they did a damn good job with that. The bastards.
Apparently so. So 508-531-1303. You can call us up. We're doing classic rock until 11 o'clock, so still got time to get some songs on for you. And check us out on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack. Follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack. And you can check us out on the YouTube channel as well, Saturday Night Soundtrack. You just got to search for and filter for channels. Almost all the 2015 shows are up there, so you can check that out as well. And Jared, for a while now, for at least what is it, Steve? It's been 2
weeks. I know exactly.
It's been 2 weeks that
he's
been teasing this story, and I'm not going to get too. I don't even know the details myself, so we're not going to get too far into it.
I gave you a clue, though.
Suffice it to say, you didn't give me any kind of clue.
I did.
Other than the fact that something's coming in the mail. That's all you. That's all you told me.
I gave you a clue. You asked me for a clue, and I gave you a clue. I gave you like the little emoji clue. So
I don't remember that at all.
Well, it's there. Go and look at your messages, and you'll see a message from me.
Most likely deleted it.
Bastard.
I don't keep messages for very long. But supposedly there's some sort of epic, spooky story that's supposed to be going on that Jared has been telling us for a couple of weeks now. He's going to tell on the program.
2 weeks to the day.
And well, it still hasn't happened.
No, it hasn't. I was talking to Steve about it, and I'm supposing that there's two reasons why it hasn't come in the post yet. The first reason being
the post.
The first reason being that it's a big, clunky item or a heavy item, or the other reason might be is that because it's coming from a longer distance away than say like Rhode Island. So there you go.
All right. Well, there we go.
He's going to continue eating while we're having one of our talking segments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Yeah. The respect for this program is is unstoppable. You realize that the buildup of the story, it means that it better be good after building it up for us for what's going to now be at least 3 weeks.
It's going to be damn good.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
Here's the thing, you guys. All right? It better be damn good for me, okay? I understand that you guys are over there sitting in anticipation, but you have no idea what happened. And so...
Well, no, obviously, because
we don't know anything about this or what is going on.
Well, I figured I'd hold off and telling you guys the things, and that way when the thing comes, and then I can tell you the story, and then we can open the thing live on air.
No, I understand that. What I'm saying to you is that I hope this is every bit as good as the weight that it's. This better be better than finding out if Glenn's dead or alive at this point.
Really?
Because it's about the same amount of time.
It is.
F Walking Dead.
I'm just saying.
At this point, I hope it's Glenn's foot.
Well, I mean, a foot would be better than the whole. You know what I mean? Like, foot would be better than the whole guy.
Oh.
I don't know. That's just what I think. That door's still closed? That door's still closed, right?
Yeah.
Mikey D closed it on his way out?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I mean, I could tell you guys a story off air, and then that way you guys...
No, we don't want it. No. I don't want to know it off air. Waiting until doing it on air.
We want it with all the bangs and whistles.
Exactly. Or
maybe
just whistles.
I mean, on the other hand of it, though,
I'm just saying that
I'm excited to tell you the
I
story.
want you to understand the expectations that are now backing this story up based on the amount of time that is being built up behind it.
Listen,
is all I'm saying.
There's people I've told the actual, the full thing about. I've told people the actual story.
Are they still alive?
For now.
I don't know. I haven't heard back from them yet. But, these people know the story, and it's like, even them are, calling me every day or talking to me and saying, hey, anything yet? Nope. I told people at my work, and, they're listening to the show, anticipation of the thing. Excuse me.
Please take food away from him the next time we go on air, if you will, please.
I did. I put it away. And so that they're asking me, has it come yet? Because this is crazy. Like only like it's like one of these things like you guys know because you guys know me. Only the craziest things happen to me. Mm-hmm. This thing I feel like is an appropriate word. Interstellarly crazy.
It's what?
Interstellarly crazy.
Okay. All right.
What are you waving your hand at? Like,
Can I ask
come on.
Because I have a question.
Yeah.
Is this in any way potentially going to injure us? Like, is this a pipe bomb that we're going to get in the mail, and you're just going to open it up in the studio? And
Would it pass through metal detectors?
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's... Don't endanger our safety for the sake of suspense.
Well, I mean, if you want, I could pre-open it to make sure, and that way it blows me up and my cat.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
And then, as long as we're sure that we'll be fine, then we can just open... I mean, does that take some of the suspense out of it? I just don't want...
No, I could just open it and not look at it.
I don't want to die for the sake of the program.
I don't want to die. Who wants to die? I mean, people want to die.
You know what I mean? I like this program. I don't like it enough to die for it.
I mean, I deal with some people that are like, there was one person I talked to a couple of days ago who's literally 111 years old. And I'm like, holy hell. Like, the things that you must have seen. And it's like, yes, I've seen a lot of things. And I'm like, I don't want to live. I mean, I'd like to be alive for a longer while than than whatever. But, like, I don't want to be, like, 112 years old and be like, yes, I've seen things.
Nobody wants you telling stories at 112 years old. I guarantee you that, sir. I will put money on that right now, that nobody wants you living long enough to be able to tell 112 years worth of stories from your life.
Oh, no, I do.
No,
I want there to be like a way where like I'm not like medically challenged when I'm that old.
Steve's fine because he's like, I'm going to be gone by the time that ever happens.
Yep.
I will have shuffled off the mortal coil. Rob, you may or may not have been able to.
I don't want Steve to die.
No, I don't want him to die either.
Now you've upset me.
No, I'm
It's going to happen
saying.
sooner or later.
Now you've upset me.
I'm just
man.
saying it's going to happen before you reach 112, and God willing, it'll happen to me before you reach 112 as well.
Like in a way, I can't wait for like my nieces to have kids, and then like they'll come up and hey, here's Uncle Jared. He's old and decrepit, but here he is, and I'm like, I rode dinosaurs. We didn't have cars back in 2002. We had dinosaurs.
Just picturing him telling stories as an old man. It amuses me to a degree that it should not amuse me.
Space cars. We rode the birds. We just climbed on an ancient bird and we flew.
Everything was fine. Nobody was complaining about nothing.
Yeah.
It was all okay. Hey, we got a threefer coming up. The Allman Brothers Band is by request for John. His mom called and requested these songs for him.
No, did you deliver John's message to me?
I want you to deliver it because you took the phone call, and
Yeah,
I would
did.
prefer you to deliver it because she gave it to you. I'd like you to deliver it on air now, and then we'll play the threefer for him.
Great. So the message is that keep your head up. Right? It's almost over. And your mother loves you very much. So stick with it. The dawn will rise. That part I added for poetic sake.
That's rather nice, then.
Well, that was good. So
Yeah.
thank
There
you,
you go.
Jared.
It's
And,
all sincere.
And again, thank you, John, for listening to us every week, apparently. And
You were the first guy to get a T-shirt.
definitely, yeah, God
Why
willing.
don't you bring that up?
God willing, the T-shirts are available. And we thank his mom for calling in on his behalf, making the requests. We're glad to play stuff for both of them every night, every week. It's great.
Yep.
So Allman Brothers coming up, threefer on deck,
Here we
SNS on B.
Damn, Whipping Post is
Aye.
a great song.
Oh, it's fantastic.
it's such a-
That's actually the first one we got coming
Such a
up.
badass song.
It's great.
It's better done by Zappa.
Not everything can be by Zappa, sir.
Yeah, seriously.
Here's Allman Brothers for John, BIM.
The best reason to listen to WBIM on Saturday nights instead of your iPod. Size matters. The largest library of classic rock in Bridgewater is on. This Saturday night soundtrack with Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, and Steve Rimmer. 91.5 WBIM.
It's Rolling Stones, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS radio show for that Queen, and had a threefer in there, the Allman Brothers Band. Allman Brothers and Greg Allman Band all wrapped up in there. Those going out to John. So glad to play those songs for him. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer. It's 10:06.
10:06.
10:06 already.
That went by quick.
Nice.
I thought you'd appreciate that.
That's fair. At first, I looked at that at first, and I was like, "Is that Jim Croce?"
Yes.
And it was Bill Cosby.
It's Bill Cosby, yes.
Bill Cosby is not Jim Croce.
No.
Just for anyone out there.
Was there any interesting tracks on this? Masculinity at its finest.
Wally.
Spanish Fly. That one
Yes.
There's Buck Jones.
could be on there.
Fat Albert's car.
Good to be your wives. And it's plural. I don't know. I'm depressed that whole situation came out.
Everybody in America is depressed about that.
No,
whole
everybody's
situation.
excited that he's a.
I mean, yeah, for the voyeuristic aspect of it, yes, people are, interested. The more salacious, the better.
Yeah, I mean, he's
But-
a Massachusetts resident now and all that. Like,
Yeah, I know. I mean, the whole thing to me is just, that's just like now here's a whole chunk of my childhood that's been violated.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did you really need a mustache that big?
Yes, he did.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Mustache. So 508-531-1303. Call us up. We're doing Classic Rock until 11 o'clock, so we got a little bit more time to get some songs on for you. You got one last big block of Classic Rock that's coming up before the end of the program. We can get your songs in there as a part of that. I feel like I know the answer to this question, probably in general, but I just feel like I have to ask it anyway because it's somewhat comic book related, and I don't know. Any of you guys, are either of you interested in the Supergirl show in the least?
No.
On CBS?
You know what? I was kind of like meh about it because it looks kind of corny, but the
Right.
girl that's playing her
Oh, that's what I was going to bring up.
all day,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
all day on the beach.
Yes.
But the thing is, I've seen a couple of clips and all this other stuff, and then I looked on the internet, and then all the chatter that's going on. A lot of people are like, "This show is going to be stupid, blah blah blah. It looks dumb, but like they watered it down, blah blah blah." And then the ratings for the show went through the roof,
Right.
and critics are applauding it and all this other stuff, and everybody's like, "Whoa, what's?" And now people are starting to watch it. So
Yeah, I mean, that was my curiosity factor was, Melissa Benoist does it. I mean, she's just hot. And she apparently was on
Let's
Glee.
see what this girl looks
which
like.
I never, so
you
it's
never seen her? Just type in new Supergirl, and
yeah, she does all day, all sorts of them. Apparently she was on Glee. And I didn't watch a minute of that show, and
Neither
you
did I.
can't pay me to ever watch a minute of that show. In retrospect,
They ruined so many good songs.
but apparently, so she was on that for a while, and now she's on Supergirl, so everybody knows who she is except me. And then I saw, and I was like, "Holy crap!" But then my question was,
That's not her.
my my main
No, that's
question-
still not-
my
what the
main
hell's wrong
question
with
was
you?
good. Her last, just search for Melissa Benoist.
That's her. That's
Yeah,
the
that's
girl.
her.
That's the girl.
I say that's her, like I can see the screen. So my main question was going to be: is it going to be worth enduring an hour of this show just to see how she is a Supergirl? Because I've been on the fence about it as to whether or not I wanted to devote the time.
Well, on
There's only a couple of episodes that have aired so far, so it'd be easy to catch up. but-
my Apple TV actually is offering me to see the first episode. That's
I mean, you can.
yeah.
There's a CBS app that you can get, and it's free, and you can watch it on there too. Which is what I was thinking about as well.
They're offering it to me for free. Like, hey, check out the show.
So,
I figured all that stuff is kind of neat. And then
Right.
I've been thinking like if I had the time to sit down, I'll watch it
Right.
just to see what's going on. I mean, from the clips I've seen, it seems.
I'm sort of in the same direction.
But see, with me and TV shows, I have to watch at least the second or third episode to decide if I like it, because the first episode is the pilot.
Well, I agree. Yeah.
You know, so it's not always all there, and they're a little shaky
you
on the legs.
gotta give them time to build up to speed.
That is riding way up.
Yes, it is.
The interesting things that come up when you look up Supergirl on,
And I know,
on Google.
This is from a site called Deviant Art.
Yes.
Jesus, guys, I just asked about Supergirl. That's it. You can
I mean, why
limit
is she
yourself.
wearing that outfit on
that.
the TV show? I mean, like, she looks... I mean, even Helen Slater was kind of good. I don't really go for blondes, but, even Helen Slater was looking...
I mean, I'm not going to
pretty good.
say that. I mean, I mentioned a few weeks ago on this program that Allison Sweeney's like my number one celebrity, and I'm not forsaking her. I'm still faithful, but this girl's a good runner-up as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah. No,
So
she's-
yeah, so I'm just wondering about checking out the show, and maybe I'll check it out in the next couple of weeks or so
Yeah.
and see what all the hype and fuss is
Oh,
about.
there's a lot of fuss.
So-
There's a lot of fuss.
All
and
sorts of
then and then I found out that Superman's going to show up on the next episode.
Really?
Yeah. Like, but I think they're gonna do like the whole thing where they kind of play around with it, so like you don't really see his face.
Oh, they're gonna be all coy and stupid about
coy
it.
about it because they don't. Well, I mean, it makes sense because they don't want to like make him like the center of the show and take it away.
But
because like the whole point is to get like to give females like you know what I mean? I mean, I get the point.
I like how spitefully you say that to it. To give females the thing, and
they should have heroes. They should have heroes.
They should have heroes.
Screw it, they should have heroes.
Yeah.
I mean, Wonder Woman's there, right? Wonder Woman's going to be the new Superman movie, so screw it.
Well, there you go. So, once again, 508-531-1303. If you check us out on YouTube, all you have to do is search for Saturday Night Soundtrack and filter for channels. You are going to get hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of intellectual conversation just like this one.
Oh, did it bring you to a different site or something?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's going to bring you to Masterpiece Theater.
Yeah.
What's that old story that goes around like, there was two philosophers just talking. Okay, and the mess was still there the next day.
Yeah, pretty much, yes.
Because they just needed to get to work, and then they were philosophizing.
Differently.
That's not the word.
Differently from philosophers just discussing a mess, we very often create it. And then just leave it there
just leave
for
it.
the next. We're like, no one's going to remember this next week when we come in to do this program, so don't worry about it.
Well, you know what the funny thing is like the more that we mess the studio up, the more it gets clean the next time.
Didn't you do something goofy and stupid with the chairs before we left the last time?
Yep,
I thought so.
And now we got this stupid retarded chair.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know it. And that's the show. Thank you all. Thank you all for tuning in and coming out.
Not that there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that the chair just needs some extra time.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's the cue.
To music.
Going.
Here we go.
Yeah, we're gonna
get right into this block.
Last
here.
classic rock block of the evening.
Boy.
Call us up. Let us know if there's anything you want to hear in it.
Yeah, and tell me not to offend you.
It's not going to happen, folks. You can tell them not to.
sideburns.
You can tell them not to offend. Hey! You can tell them not to.
Led Zeppelin. Did you know, like when you play "Stairway to Heaven" backwards, it's actually another song. What song is that? Like, I told every star. You know that one. I told every other star. You know that little one from the 1920s. What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know. He's in a world of his own. I'm just not touching it.
Yeah, don't touch anything in there.
It's sticky.
Well alone.
It is sticky and sweaty.
Saturday night. Classic rock. They just go together like bacon and hot fudge sundaes.
Whatever.
Just trust us on this, okay? Bacon and hot fudge sundaes. Yum. The Saturday Night Soundtrack with Rob Hicks on 91.5 WBIM.
91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack, just about time to close it out for another week. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer. Say, have you ever listened to the program and then thought to yourself, on the way home, I sure would like to meet one of these guys or maybe get a ride home from one of them. You might be in luck. Jared Barbetta he's signed up for the site that is not Uber.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
He's signed up for Lyft, and he's got the opportunity, potentially, to turn the app on tonight and make some money if he feels like it. If he doesn't feel like it, he's just going to blow you off. So we'll find out how it goes. And
you got pens on you to give out to your clients?
There should be pens. There should be Jared Lyft pens.
I think I do have the pens on me.
Specifically.
Good.
So do you have something to give me?
So you could have an opportunity to meet Jared, get a ride home from him, and potentially vomit in his car. He can't clean it up if you do so.
Oh my God! Don't encourage that.
That is the
behavior.
There are a lot of things that discourage me from doing an Uber or a Lyft type thing in general, but you telling us that particular clause last week pretty much cinched it for me.
It kind of cinches it for me too, because I have leather seats.
Yeah, and your car is new. I mean, relatively new.
You'll do better with leather seats. At least it cleans up easy.
The problem is they don't want me cleaning it up.
Yeah.
Right, because you have to leave it as
I have to leave it.
I guess as evidence as better. Well, you have to leave it long enough to just like take a picture of it. You have to take a picture of it and send it to them, and then you can clean it, right?
Yeah.
And they'll reimburse you past that point, but they don't want you cleaning it up and then telling them about it after the fact because they say you can't do. They can't do anything about it.
But then, like, you have the caveat of like if you're picking one up, one guy, and then you got two other guys that you got to pick up.
Well, true.
You have to have it. You know,
You
like,
take a quick picture and you're all set.
no, I don't know. It's
Picture, scrub that junk out, and you're good.
It's stupid.
So Jared may or may not be going through with this, depending on how he feels.
What is that?
What?
I don't know. I just saw this thing and I want to play with it.
Put it away, sir.
Oh, classy to the end. Classy to the end.
that?
Steve, I feel really bad that you're in that room all night.
Yeah, that's okay.
To be totally honest with you. So anyway, we're going to be back next week doing Classic Rock from 5 to 11 again. Look forward to hearing from all of you. Get some good calls tonight and some good requests. And looking forward to do it again next week. And hopefully we'll get some more in. And, hopefully John will still be doing good. And Phil Collins will be doing good. And
hopefully this effing thing shows up.
Yes, that's what we hope as well.
Because I'm thinking at this point, if it doesn't show up, I'm just going to tell you guys the story. And just
let's do it. Let's set a goal because we're good at this.
We are.
Let's set a goal for next week that if this thing doesn't show up, just tell us the story of what would have been.
Yeah.
And then we'll go at it from there.
Yeah.
And
we'll
ooh and ah appropriately, and everything will be good.
yeah.
So
So
just do it that way.
Yep.
We're gonna close out with some War, Lowrider. For all of you out there when you're low riders, and once again, if you don't have your low rider, Jared could potentially give you a ride, or maybe not, if he just doesn't feel like it.
This is gonna be.
I think he's leaning in the I don't feel like it direction, and that's okay too.
This is gonna be terrible.
And that might be a wise decision to
I mean,
just.
like it makes sense if you're living up in the city.
You didn't pay to join the thing yet, right?
No, actually, it's all free. And then
Okay.
And then if I do like X amount of rides, they give me $750
Okay.
for a sign-on bonus.
Just making sure you didn't sign up for it. And,
$7.50.
No, $750.
yeah, $7.50 would be a terrible bonus.
Like, I think I
Here's
have
a sign-on bonus. It's minimum wage.
I think I have to sign on. I have to do at least 10 good rides, and then they give me like 7.5. I'm like, oh, okay, it's worth a shot, whatever. Because it could be a better second job than my pizza joint.
True.
Yeah.
Many things could be.
Well, after today, yeah. I kind of don't want to go back.
Here's War for you, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. It's the Saturday night soundtrack. We'll see you next week. Bye.